We'll be back from the break at 8:30 in the morning. The second hour of the show, it still is. My name is Jerome Paul Sonko, and tell you what, I am your favorite guy, normally. Okay, now we are moving in regards to driving business. Now, this moment in time, we'll look at an update that you would definitely feel part of. Pharmaceutical business. Well, from the health sector has seen the rise of businesses each day that passes by, and you can definitely see it as a part-time job for some doctors who decide to have it as a side gig. However, the growth of pharmacies in Uganda is undoubtedly immense, and you can definitely go every other place in the country and you will find quite a number of pharmacies, be it arcades, be it shopping malls, be it residential areas, and be it your local towns where you stay. So pharmacies are definitely picking up day in, day out. Now, with the new regulations from the health ministry, these ones have begun to at least have more ample space and selling quality drugs. However, when we look at the business in pharmaceuticals, starting a pharmacy can be a rewarding venture if you are definitely into this, because it offers independency and it gives you a chance to build something of your own. It is true that starting from scratch is typically faster and less expensive than buying an existing pharmacy. For a year back, I do know of a friend of mine whose mother sold a pharmacy at 100 million. You can imagine selling the whole place and the stock which was in it. So that shows you how expensive a pharmacy can get. Unlike other commodities, medicines are highly regulated supplies with the potential to cause serious harm. That's why there is an independent regulatory authority, the National Drug Authority, which regulates the sale and distribution of these drugs. So in most cases, it is very important, if you are having a pharmaceutical business or you are having a pharmacy, to make sure that you have a letter from the National Drug Authority, or better yet, also a letter from the Ministry of Health that grants you the opportunity to drive business by setting up this pharmacy or to sell drugs to patients as well, to administer drugs the way it is. And you should as well have a letter from the Uganda National Bureau of Statistics, I should say, but also having a letter of the local council from where you're running this pharmacy. So pharmacy, or the pharmaceutical business, is one that is actually very sensitive in Uganda today. It is one that you definitely start up and make some good money. However, you should make sure that at least you have the regulations in check so as not to miss out and so as not to make any single mistake. Because remember, with the pharmaceutical business, you're not only driving business, but you are handling the health matters of individuals that come to your pharmacy to buy goods, or should I say medicines, drugs, and all that you sell. I've pretty much seen how different pharmacies have adapted to selling even health, also skincare products as well, and ensuring this is now a wide range of pharmaceutical products. And in this update, we take a look at it in more perspective with Joan Nabukalu, reporting on matters to do with the pharmaceutical business in Uganda, how it has grown, how it is evolving, and how the players in there are surviving. How are they recovering? Have they faced challenges? How do they overcome these challenges? And how do they get stock? How do they maintain the quality of the drugs they sell? How do they keep up with the clients? How do they maintain these drugs without expiring? And how best can one start up a pharmaceutical business? Good morning, Uganda. This is Smart Means Business.
Unlike other commodities, medicines are highly regulated supplies with a potential to cause serious harm. That's why there is an independent regulatory authority, the National Drug Authority. It regulates the sale and distribution of drugs. Despite being non-medics, people starting and running successful pharmacy enterprises rely on input from experts in the pharmaceutical field to set up successful pharmacy businesses. Smart 24 reached out to medical experts in this field who expressed the basics of starting a successful pharmacy.
If you acquire your degree, maybe in Uganda, Kenya, Nigeria, or even abroad, when you get this degree, you are supposed to apply to the Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda. And the application forms you use are there on the website, on the Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda website, or you can pick them physically from the offices of the Pharmaceutical Society of Uganda. So when you fill in this form, there are some other documents that they ask you to attach. And these documents include your degree certificate, they include your S6 results, the advanced sleep result, and then they include your O-level certificate, they include your P7 certificate, they include your admission letter to the university. So the students still there, make sure you do not throw away that admission letter.
Pharmacy startup costs can vary based on location, inventory, staffing costs, and many other factors. It can be a rewarding venture that offers you independency and a chance to build something of your own.
I'm looking at a starting cost for a good pharmacy at 500 million Uganda shillings. Oh yes, at 500 million Uganda shillings. And the stocking, of course, is also another aspect. So it's a very, very expensive procedure. Then it depends on, as you cut, you probably can cut your cloth according to you can cut your coat according to the cloth you have. You could start with a small, we call it a drug shop, but those are usually in rural areas. They are not allowed anymore in Kampala or in the urban areas. For urban areas, you must be a registered pharmacist, and a registered pharmacist, you must make a pharmacy that fits into your technical profile.
Despite the possible profit returns, the business is embedded with a number of challenges due to high cost of obtaining these medicines, since majority are imported.
It's one of the challenges we face in this country. To be honest, there are very many people who cannot afford buying a full dose of medication. And then there are some people who are so poor. It's like a catch 22 for us. As much as I would want you to buy the full dose and take it at a go for compliance reasons, some people will say I can afford to buy it in 2 doses, in 2 halves, or I will buy a daily dose every day until when I finish. And to be honest, that's what they can afford. Now, if you're in our shoes, what do you do?
If only government subsidized some of the taxes on the medicines import, probably it would be more affordable to the people. Our medicines don't come from the national medical stores, because for most of the government facilities and what they call private not-for-profit hospitals or health facilities, they get their medicines from the national medical stores, which are subsidized by government. But for us, we buy our medicines directly from the wholesalers who import it directly into the country. So ours tend to be more expensive than those from the national medical stores. It's all because of the taxation aspect.
Uganda has about 786 wholesale pharmacies, 1,557 retail pharmacies licensed by the National Drug Authority.